Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a mod that is actually really exciting for multiple reasons. One, because it's Frog's own personal custom-built side-by-side, and two, he has actually included the console pack files in this thing, so at this point, whether or not it gets approved for consoles is completely up to the developers. Like I said before, he has put in all of the necessary files for this thing to make its way to Xbox and PlayStation later on down the road, but that decision is ultimately up to the developers, although based on what we've seen make it to consoles in the past, it looks like this thing is pretty solid in terms of making it eventually. We just don't know what the time frame will be for it actually dropping. It could drop soon, it could drop a little later, but as of recording this video, we don't know what that timeline is. Now, we are going to go ahead and pick this thing up, and then we're going to customize it and see what it can do. Now, what I do like about this thing is actually, right off the bat, you can see it's actually really cheap. So, like, if you're getting started off in your campaign mode and you want to use this in campaign, it's very cheap, and I could see this being used by a lot of people in terms of scouting and all sorts of, like, just looking around a map, especially if you're new to the game. Now let's go ahead and get right into the customization process. So if we go into the customization, you can see we have the stock engine, which gives us an A power to weight rating, and then you have the upgraded engine, which gives us an S plus power to weight rating. Now, I would personally say you would be using the A power to weight rating, the stock engine, if you were looking for a bit more of a balanced, maybe more campaign friendly experience, whereas the upgraded engine would be used if you wanted to just kind of like go nuts basically and take it to an off-road park, take it to the stadium, take it anywhere where you have full range to use all of that power. So let's go ahead and put the upgraded engine in it as we are on the Super Truck Stadium map. And gearbox-wise, you have one gearbox option, very simple there, two suspension options, stock and lifted, although it looks like even with the lifted version, you have a lot of travel, like a lot of travel. So I'm going to go with the lifted version. And then you have a few different tire options here. You have 31-inch all-terrains, 35-inch all-terrains, 35-inch mud tires, and 43-inch mud tires. Now, I'm probably going to use the 35-inch all-terrains first, and then we'll come back and get those giant mud tires, and we'll try the mud obstacle. So we'll go ahead and get the 35 all-terrains, and let's see, you have two winch options. Now, this is important. So, since this is planned for consoles, you have the console winch and you have the standard winch. Now, the difference between these two is that the console winch has been simplified a little bit so it will work better on a controller. Now, users of the Yeetmobile will know that this actually makes a big difference if you're using a console. So, right now, I'm going to stick with the stock winch. And then frame add-ons wise, you have supplies, which is basically just, 5,000 repair parts, 20 spare wheels, and like an extra 1,321 liters of fuel. So, big advantage there, actually, if you want to go ahead and put those on. Wheels-wise, you just have one choice of wheels, and it's basically like a, classic-style, old-school beadlock wheel. Looks really good, though. Standard-wise, colors, it comes in this green, and then you can go through, like, maybe a red if you want to do that. You can make it yellow if you want to do that. You have a big range of, different colors to choose from with this thing. I would probably go with red, but at the same time, I actually think it would look good in like a bright yellow, although we don't have a bright yellow. Like the bright yellow that we do have is kind of odd looking, I feel. Like it's not necessarily the best looking yellow in the world, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with a blue, and obviously there isn't really any interior customization because there's not much interior to customize. I mean, there is, but at the same time there isn't. So this is going to be our first time setting off in this thing. Now, it does use the sounds from his Can-Am, and so it is going to be a little loud, but let's go ahead and get into it and fire it up. It's not terrible, though. Like, it's not a bad-sounding rig. It's just you may have to go into your options and turn the game down a little bit if it is a little bit too loud for you. So, let's actually, real quick, let's just go ahead and make sure that this is, well, it's actually already at 65, so shouldn't have to be worried about that. So let's try the obstacle course right off the bat and just see what this thing can do. Now, I don't think we'll run the full thing because I do have a couple of other areas I want to try this thing on this map, but let's go ahead and set off in 3, 2, 1, go! We're not going to time this run. We're just going to see how it does in terms of, wow! That suspension! That suspension performance is incredible. The way it articulates, the way it absorbs the rocks, the bumps, like, wow, if you like just bombing through obstacles at higher speeds, this thing works great for that. The damping setup is awesome. Like, everything in terms of the suspension works amazingly well. Look at that. It loves these little jumps. And as long as you go over them in a controlled way, you're fine. You're good to go. Come on. Now, granted, having diff lock and all-wheel drive just always on by default does help. That angle is a little bit weird. It's always been a little wonky, and I'm not sure why that angle in particular, like that stack of lumber, has been a little wonky, but it is what it is. It's not like, it's not a big deal. You just have to know that you have to be a little bit more careful approaching that. Yo, this thing is so much fun to drive. Seriously, this, nope. Save that. Dude, I can see this being so much fun to, like, race around some of these tracks with friends in. Dude, I can literally imagine endless fun racing these things against friends. Like, that would be a blast. Let's see how it does through here. Whoop. Oh, I launched it, and it was not feeling that. I was really wondering if it would be able to get over the logs in high, and I feel like it would be able to had we not caught the rear tire right there and just launched it head over heels, basically. I do love how the suspension, again, going back to the suspension, it's incredible what he's done with it because it works for high-speed stuff, it works for whoops, it works for jumps, it works for ramps, but it also works for crawling. Like, there's, as long as you drive it properly, there's really no limit to what this suspension is okay with. Really? I love how those barrels will push you to the side right when you go up. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we... What the heck? It was sitting on it just fine, and then it decided it was like, okay, it's time to slip off the edge. But I think that's more on the logs than it was on these tires. The tires work great. Oh, dude, look at this. Hill climbs like a beast. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, we're fine. I was a little worried about it there. I was a little worried about it there for a second. Now, like I said, we're not going to run the full course. I just wanted a quick test. We're going to go ahead and recover now, and we are going to go to the track. I want to see if it can do the big jump. I don't know if it can, but I feel like if it'll do the entry jump, then that'll actually show us that it may be able to do the bigger jumps. I don't know, but if it can do the entry jump, then that'll be a really good start. It handles so well. There's 6th gear. Nope. Yep, nope on that one, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I didn't really expect it to be able to do it, but I just wanted to see how close we could get. So now, in terms of testing, we are going to go back to the garage real quick, and we're going to throw the mud tires on it. And now, let's see, do we have a couple of... Okay, no, just one wheel choice. I wanted to see if you had a different choice of wheels in terms of the mud tires, but these things are so ridiculously tall. Dude, oh my god, they like, dude, they would rub so bad. All right, let's see how you do in the mud. 3, 2, 1, and go! Oh my god, it does wheelies in the mud with these tires. What? Alright, mud hole number 2. High range isn't feeling it, but low plus it'll probably do. Now the water is right there. It's about to come up over the hood. Oh, that's so close. Alright, and send it. Oh, that one's just, like, stupidly deep. Not only is the mud deeper in this one, it's also a lot thicker. So it's like, geez. No speed change, really, in terms of, like, low to low plus with that one. These are some properly deep mud holes. Just a little bit more. Come on. Come on. I know this thing can do it. I just wish we could rip through here in high and it would skim over the top of the mud rather than, like, just digging into it. And I know that, like, when it digs into it, that's basically the byproduct of losing speed. Like, low vehicle speed with high wheel speed, you're gonna dig. I mean, that's just kind of basic physics of mud for you, but easy on up out of it. There we go. Even with the big mud tires, it's freaking quick, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it quick enough in high to get over the jump? I have a weird theory all of a sudden, and I don't know if this weird theory is actually going to work. I don't know if it's actually going to, like, play out the way I'm imagining it might in my head, but, like, let's see. I don't know. I'm curious. Because normally high range isn't that much faster, but in this it might be. You never know. Oh. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, it was so close. It gave it a little bit of a boost, but not enough. Like, definitely not quite enough. All right, we're going to go back to the 35s now. And you know what? Since we're in the shop, I'm going to go ahead and paint it red. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot at painting it red. Now, let's see. Ooh, there is one more set of obstacles that we haven't tried in this thing. And by the way, if you guys pick this thing up, I highly recommend, highly recommend that you come to this map and test it out. Because this map, aside from obviously the main racetrack, has so many, like, perfect areas for testing this thing out. Now, granted, the drag strip probably isn't the best one, but yeah, it maxes out pretty quick, speed-wise. The final section, though, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, no, that's just a big finish line. All right, I do want to try this section out, because this section trips up a lot of rigs, like a lot of rigs. Here we go. Tried letting off and getting back into it in high, and it almost worked, but not quite. You have to be really careful. Now, the nice thing about this section is that if you can keep your tires on the rocks, it will help you if you're trying to stay in high through here, but it's very few and far between that you'll actually get a solid run where you can do that, and it lights you, you know? All right, let's make our way through the rocks. Oh, God. All right. Bouncing us around a good bit. In these sections, it really likes it if you leave it in automatic mode and just kind of feather the clutch from time to time when you're anticipating a shift, so it can go ahead and shift faster than it would on its own. There you go, there you go, there you go. It does scramble through these rocks very, very well, though. Like, honestly, it scrambles through the rocks way better than most vehicles its size. Way better than most vehicles its size. And the way it handles on these, like, the dirt track sections, that's the beauty of it. That's, like, one of the best parts of driving it. See? Oh, no. No. Okay. Woo! I was so worried that tire was going to go onto the little wood bridge. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay. Yep. Come on. Oh, my God. Any little steering input that you get wrong can, like, literally cause complete failure. But we're okay! We got it! Come on! Side by side, let's go! Whoop! Up and over, come on! Get it! Alright, last obstacle down to the rocks! Getting it! Oh, come on! Trying to find a decent line where I can stay in. Nope! That was not a decent line. If you're talking about finding a decent line, don't do that, because that was not one. That's not what a good line looks like. Definitely not. All right, make my way through the rocks. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Really? Really? All right, go. Get it. Up and over the last bit and across the line. Now, I am really a big fan of this thing, and I cannot wait for it to drop on consoles. Like I said, I don't think it'll have any issues at all. I mean, again, it's really just Frog's own custom-built vehicle, and it's got the console packs, and so whenever the developers get around to adding it, then it'll be in the game. So if you guys enjoyed this test, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on this thing in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time.